My first recommendation is to get your kids around real physical books as much as possible. There are so many reasons why this is important. You really want to teach them to engage with books on a physical level. This can be really good for kids on the spectrum. It can be really good for kids who are especially struggling with reading. There have been some new studies that are just starting to come out that are talking about the ways that we process text on screens differently than how we do on paper, which is fascinating to me. And this is something that I have been feeling was going to, start coming out in research very soon. Just in the trends that we've been taking in terms of literacy and just as a culture in general, we're moving so much more toward that engagement with text through a digital device. And while I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that, I think that to lose any kind of relationship or even to diminish our relationship with an actual physical book is a mistake. So the more you can expose your children to physical books in their childhood before you ever let them see an e-reader or especially to play video games, you're really going to set yourself up for success. And that's not to say that there might be good reasons for allowing your child to read off of an e-reader. I mean, honestly, if it were reading off of an e-reader or not reading at all, then I would say pick the e-reader. But in general, it's a really good idea to let your kids engage with physical books as much as possible from a very, very young age and continue using physical books throughout their literacy practices. It is very important to acknowledge that e-readers, tablets, technology is going to be with your children throughout their lives, and they are going to need to learn how to use these things. But you're going to see them have more and more exposure to these things at schools. And so it's not necessarily something that you'll have to cover on your own at home. So I would say mostly leave that to schools if you can, and keep to the physical books at home. Although if you find that your child is really engaged more with the e-readers or that sort of material, then allow them to use technology a little bit more.